Welcome to Money Chats and Mishaps, a podcast by Fam Brokers hosted by Renae Long, the director and founder of Fam Brokers.
Good morning, Brooke. Thank you so much for coming in today to Money Chats and Mishaps. It's just a bit of a dialogue. Brooke's going to tell everybody out there what she does and how long she's been in her business, what her business is, and how you can contact her.
Oh, wonderful. So, I'm Brooke Juracic. I own and run Gold Coast Wealth. I have been in finance for, over 10 years now.
Yeah.
I started with franchise, went to an unfranchise as business expanded and goals changed. And then about 18 under 18 months ago, I started Gold Coast Wealth with my business partner. So, yeah, so you can find us on all the socials, just gc.wealth.
So sometimes I get asked, so why do you have a broker on? Why do you have somebody from an industry? Why do you have a banker on? Everybody's got different things. And Brooke and I were at an MFAA commercial workshop, and we were having a bit of a chat. I brought two of the new guys. We had some newer brokers, and I know this sounds bad, but when you've been in the industry for more than 10 years, you've gone through so many things, right? And we're going, no, look for this, yep, look for that. And we're bouncing it, and I'm like, oh my God, I would love to talk to you about this stuff. Because there's so many things people have done in the past that, and as it states, money chats and mishaps, so we're going to have a bit of a chat over that. Now it's raining today, so I've had the...
It's not the nice Gold Coast that I'm used to.
I know, right? Yesterday was like 38, 40 degrees.
Look, I would rather the rain over that yesterday, so I'll take that. So.
Yeah, but we did need it because there was a couple of fires on the street and that sort of thing. So when I deal with a client and when you deal with a client, and we deal with not just, we're not your resi broker, we're not your asset broker, we're not your commercial broker, we deal with everything.
We're all rounder. Yeah.
So because we've done this and then we go into that, and I've worked for lenders as well, and you go for here, you go for there, and you think, okay, you learn all things along the way. So we were talking about some things with somebody got a JP, we'll say just for me to sign, and didn't know a person with the initials JP signed a mortgage document, which we had a chuckle about. Brooke told me some classic stories. So for me, I think we should have a crack at just a bit of a chat with a couple of things. So first home buyers, I held a first home buyer workshop on the weekend.
Amazing.
And it was great.
There's more needed.
Oh, financial literacy, I think, is such a key point. And look, I've got a 14-year-old who knows. So she's got a job. So she's got 50 to 60% in her spendings account.
Amazing.
And the other two, she's got a house loan account at 14 and a car loan account at 14. Now, I've got to be proud.
That's awesome.
She also teaches. So when you educate someone and they get to know things, but you only know what you know. So I've had clients, for example, I've had a couple of phone calls, you book the meeting, you go and see them, or they come and see you. And I was talking about this one the other day with BDM, and I got this guy the other week, and he's like, here's my ID. I said, I just need to, check out who you are. I went, this doesn't look like you. He goes, no, it's my cousin. We look alike, but he's got a better credit file. I kid you not, and I'm like, no. So sometimes I always say, tell me where the bodies are buried. I'm happy to know where they're buried, as long as I know, because when it comes up, credit, exactly, you've got to be really license, exactly.
We can work with that.
No. And I was speaking to a broker that asked me to be his mentor, and I gave him that example. I said, what would you do? He goes, I'd ask him for his license. I said, for me, I wouldn't. I'd say,
it's a starting point.
Yeah,
it's a starting point.
It's a starting point. But I'd say no. You can say no to people.
Yeah.
And the same as you get a wonderful client and they forget something. We forget something, everybody forgets something. So if you were talking to a first home buyer, can you give a story or something about a first home buyer, tragedy or success?
Yeah.
Because it's like a Romeo and Juliet story.
I know. I've got one of each. So
perfect.
I will start with the sad so we can finish on the high.
Nice.
I had a first home buyer who reached out. They were, it was about a year before COVID, and put them on a savings plan because, you know, I don't just go, oh, you ready for a mortgage? Great, let's go. Or you don't have deposit, don't want to deal with it.
Exactly, and that's a key point. So when you deal with people, everybody in every industry and sectors, no matter whether you're an engineer or a solicitor, people have got different levels of skills and expectations.
Exactly.
So get on a savings plan and do what your broker says, because that puts you in the best position.
Exactly.
So, and if somebody doesn't want to give you a savings plan and you can't afford it, don't go back.
Yeah.
Because they're going to bounce you.
100%. And like, I always say treat a savings plan like a diet. Don't just cut everything out. It's like if you cut sugar out of your diet, 3 days later you're hiding in the closet eating chocolate from your husband. Like,
you've seen me?
So I always say that, I'm like, always allocate social spending, because if you cut it out completely, you're going to hate your life and you're going to hate the savings plan, and then you're not going to want to do it, and then you're going to go out and splurge one night and you're going to blow it all, and then you're going to go, well, I may as well just keep spending because
I'm never going to get a house anyway.
Yeah. So I always
100%.
say, you know, take, you know, 10% of whatever's left and give that to yourself, or 20% even, whatever you need to do per week. It's $100 a week. Go for it. It's going to take you longer to get in your house. Be aware of that, but go for it. Have that social aspect. Don't be a hermit. No one likes hermits. So I had one who we put them on a savings plan. They just needed that little bit extra. It was like $7,000, and we weren't in a big rush. Little did we know COVID was around the corner. Yeah. So we kind of were in a rush, but we weren't aware of it. And
surprise!
That is the worst. Thankfully with COVID though, they did, you know, bring out that extra $15,000 builder booster, which basically gave him the $4,000 we were short by the time we got there. The day contracts got issued, this poor guy got broken into. They took everything. They took all the electronics, the cars, totaled the car, everything. He had insurance on the car, however, it was a very old car. And we couldn't replace it without using all the cash. So unfortunately, he then couldn't sign the contract. And this is when House and Land was $500,000.
Yeah, and now it's just over. Yeah.
And it was just the most heartbreaking moment. He was devastated. I was devastated. We then, fast forward to 2 months ago, we kept in contact. Yes, it's been 5 years. Kept in contact.
That's a good broker.
Kept him. I touched base yearly. I'm like, how you going? How you going? Have we got it back yet? How you going? Finally got there. He just signed his contracts 2 months ago.
Oh, fantastic.
Titles in February.
Woo-hoo!
He's got all his deposits. He's getting his first home buyer grant.
Oh,
and
nice.
we finally got him almost, 3/4 of the way there. So.
And you know what? So some of the people that you see, for me, some of the first home buyers, they want to buy something tomorrow, they want to do this, they want to do that. Don't think that you need the $2 million property. It's your first home. Buy with your head, not your heart.
100%.
And you're not ready to buy it when you think you are. You have a broker. Have a look at your bank statements, your spending. If you're self-employed, talk to them about that. Do not quit being a plumber on Friday and start your new business Saturday and then go to an auction after that on day one, registered day one, do an unconditional contract with $80,000 transferred to the realtor and not have, so that, I hate Wednesdays to that point. I get contracts nearly every week. Somebody signs an unconditional contract, but you can do it. You can do miracles. If I could make water into wine, I'd be all over that.
Right? Oh my God. It's out of control.
So everything you're
people,
saying is correct, 100%. So go, and sometimes it takes 5 years.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes, usually, it takes around 6 months
Yes.
to really prep yourself.
Yeah.
If you've been an avid saver and if you've got this and if you've got that, it could be shorter. Sometimes it can be 18 months. But your goal is your goal to get into a property. It doesn't have to be the Taj Mahal.
Exactly. It's a first home. It's not a last home. And that's my hardest conversation with first home buyers is, and especially with this day and age of instant gratification, it's social media, Instagram life, like looking at every other person's better things.
Yep.
That's why most people are depressed. I hate social media for the sense of everybody's just comparing. And then I get these semi-unrealistic first home buyers who want the fully upgraded, no digs at Metro, because they do a really beautiful house, but like they want the display home style home. And they can't have it because they're on
You get the cheaper
$50 grand.
a lot smaller, exactly.
Yeah,
$50,000, $100,000.
you can have a 30 mil bench top instead of 90. Like,
Yeah.
let's be fair, it's not actually 90, it's just 90 minor edges. Come
Exactly.
on.
True.
Come on. Like, just start here. You don't have to
Just
start
build it.
here, but we can start here and then we end here.
So
And that's what the broke is there for.
I've got people who've bought apartments
Mm.
just as COVID hit
Oh,
and
God.
the building stopped.
Yeah.
So they settled 6 months ago.
Oh, God.
And what they bought for
Yeah.
$450,000
It's nearly half
is
of it.
1.2 million in a
Yeah.
good suburb.
Yeah.
And you think, wow, and then they've got all this equity, and then they go, okay, well, I want to buy this, and I want to do this, and I want to do this. Okay, let's have a look at what we've got, work out a plan. So planning is the smartest thing I think
100%.
anybody can do, and we've had some doozies. So what's the what's the funny one? Come on, what's the funny one?
So they're not a first home buyer, but the latest one that I got, which actually was just this week.
Okay, surprise.
Well, it was last week, so I got a referral from a family friend last week.
Yeah.
Their work colleague is looking to either sell and upgrade or maybe keep an investment, and they were like, "Oh, well, you need to speak to a broker. Like my sister does that. Come and help." So I was like, "Hey, how you doing?" We worked out a plan.
Yeah.
We worked out that the partner who she said had a job didn't. He was waiting for his contract. So that was the first, awesome. So we've already got a little bit of mistrust there, because if you're not going to tell me all of it, I can't help you. And I need it, and I don't care what it is. I don't care if you've got a
We don't
credit
judge.
score. Yeah.
We don't care if you've got a negative credit score, a 2 credit score, you've been bankrupt 32 times. Donald Trump's been bankrupt how many times?
Right?
Branson's been bankrupt how many times?
I don't care. I just need to know
wanna help
so I
you.
know where to go.
To do the best for
I
where
guess
you're positioned
gets
to get you in a better spot.
So I guess better. So firstly that, and then she's like, "Oh, he's going into FIFO though, and we're expecting a contract in the next 48 hours." And I'm like, "Great. It's full-time, part-time, or casual, because that will determine if we can use it." And she was like, "Oh, no, it's going to be permanent." And I'm like,
Is it full-time or
permanent,
casual?
full-time, part-time, or casual? Because there's permanent casual, which is, a contract, but it's still casual. There's no annual leave, there's no sick leave, da 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 da.
And
She's
they
like,
don't
no,
give minimum-
it's permanent. It's permanent full-time. It's this much on, this much off. I'm like, wonderful. We may be able to use it. Certain lenders will consider it. We've got some options. It's not a no.
Yep, perfect.
Send me the contract when it comes in.
What is it?
By the way, I found this house last weekend. It goes to auction this Saturday. We want a bid. And I went, okay, this just became urgent. Love. So we've got all their details, got everything. The contract came through on Thursday afternoon, which is why we can...
It's going to be heaps of time.
Yeah, he's
Fair
the time. Look,
Overnight.
we'll get it done in 4 hours, it's fine. Contract's casual. He starts on Sunday, 170 grand a year, but contract's casual. And I just went, I can't use that. Contract's casual. It's minimum 3 months before I can use that. And she's like, but we want this house. She goes, and we found out someone's already tried to place a pre-auction offer for 1.2. And I went, well, the calculations that we've already done, sale to purchase, you have to minimise what you've got already, because now we can't use your partner's stuff. You can't buy over 900, and you have to sell for $1 million. If you keep it and we can use rental, you are at 1.1. If they have declined 1.2,
It's a no deal.
I'm pretty sure you're not going to be able to afford it. So, compliance, love it. Sent out all these emails. Do not bid at auction. You do not have pre-approval. It is an unconditional contract. You potentially will lose all your money. Don't do it, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it.
They did it.
Yeah. Monday morning. So we won the contract 1.375. And I was like,
did you not hear me?
I was like, did you get my emails on Friday all day and my texts and my voicemails? And she's like, oh yeah. You just ignored it. And she goes, oh well, like we just know that you're really good at your job. So like we just like and the agent's gonna sell ours for like the same price. And I went, darling, no offense, but have you seen your house? It needs a lot of work. She goes, oh yeah, but like that's someone else's problem now. And I'm like,
oh
no,
bless.
No, it's still your problem until it's fixed, because someone's not going to give you 1.3 if they still have to put 300 grand into fixing it. I was like, yours is, I don't mean to sound
signing
rude, but it's a
unconditional
knockdown.
contracts. Exactly. Some things are knockdowns. So I had a lovely guy, one of my first clients back in the day, comes to me and says, I need you to refinance, we want to buy another property. I went around to see them, to their house, happy days, sitting down, they've had a baby since, chat. Oh, so you're working now? She goes, no, I'm not. I said, but I spoke to, she's not working? Oh no, I'm going to put her on my business. I went, what, just starting? I said, we might not be able to take that into account. And I explained why. So he had gone on to Google doctor, Google lawyer, Google finance, Google. ChatGPT, isn't that the bane of my existence? But I put your email through ChatGPT, what you sent me, and it spat out these things and told me, even worked out the repayments for me, was different to yours. I said, I worked out the repayments based on the repayment calculator for that lender. That was the only one that you could service. What you're doing now, you're signing a contract for something that you don't have. Plus, why won't you let me do a credit check on you? And I need your bank statements. You still haven't sent that through. So let's get on now and do it while I'm here. And I'd known this person for 7.5 years, right? And he goes, oh, do we have to? Do you need to see all of them? And I'm like, okay, what's going on?
Immediately flagged.
He goes, oh, I haven't paid the mortgage for 6 months. I went, what? He goes, yeah, they've sent me this. I went, what's the date? Oh dear. And at that time, my head's spinning and I'm thinking, he's got a wife and a new baby and his house is about to get repossessed.
Oh my God.
I said to him, what have you been doing? He goes, oh, well, I went down a bit of a dark place and this happened and that happened. And I went, okay, let's stop. Why? And can I just say, there was a $150,000 large ute that was 6 months old in the driveway. So we would have had
been fine.
$1.2 million worth of equipment and trucks and things like that. And and I'm like, he goes, oh no, I just put it in the. I went, no. I said, you're about to lose your house.
Business, so it's not.
Yes, it's not technical.
sense.
I went, you're a director of the business. I said, you set it up. Now, your accountant sent me through and he phoned me and said, you're going to have tax debt. Where's your tax account? So they logged in, they said, come to the office. Went to the office, had a bit of a sit down, looked through, and I went, okay, I need to go away because you can't get a loan. And at the moment now, we're in an emergency. You need to refinance and I cannot go to a mainstream lender or a second tier. I am going to have to go to a private lender for you because you're self-employed, and the major bank they were with had given them 14 days from the letter he showed me 10 days ago. So I had 4 days to get a deal in, settle it. So I did. I settled in 3 days, okay? Then he comes back to me to say, we're at a feeding frenzy, what I call them, a bidders conference for properties all over Australia.
Oh no.
And I'm like, he goes,
why are you there?
and I'm like, you have, and I said to him, you have shit credit, you have this, you have that. No offense, mate, but you need to stop. all those things I ask you to do with your bank accounts. He said, oh, and we had a bit of a bender because such and such. And I went, what? So he took out $18,000 and took all the boys in the company and their family out because one of them had a baby. So he shouted the baby shower at this exclusive place for $18,000 and the company paid, right?
That's not a tax deduction, but
yeah. Okay,
it's not a business.
So I'm like, I'm now over 50. I'm thinking, oh, my chest is tightening. I'm having my first heart attack. And I could not get it. Like, literally. And then I get this phone call on a Sunday morning at about 2 a.m.
Stop it.
They had a fight.
Don't you love
me.
boundaries?
They had a fight. And then I got, I won't say which police station, but I got, it said police station. And I thought, oh my God, I answered at 2:34 a.m. Hello? I said, hi, we have such and such and such and such here. There's been a bit of a fight, domestic disturbance. We removed him, but you need somebody to come and pick him up. We're not going to keep him in overnight. He's fine, but he said that he can stay at your place. And I went, I'm his mortgage broker. And the guy goes, and the QPS officer, bless his little cotton socks, he goes, pardon? I went, I'm his mortgage broker. He goes, he referred to you as mum. I went,
oh my God.
I'll give you a tip. I have biological children, foster children, and stepkids. He's not one of them. And I'm like, because I thought someone was dead. If somebody phoned me at 2:30,
police station calling you at 2:30 in the morning.
I
am having an anxiety attack.
I'm freaking out because my daughter was shit, one of my kids. So I thought, shit,
something's happened.
Yeah.
I have a panic attack when the daycare rings.
Yeah. So, and then I'm like, he goes, yep, I'm going to let him know. He said, we'll keep him for you, love. He said, I'm so sorry to call you. Click. I rolled over and I went, and I just lay there and I thought, are you kidding me? So
oh my God.
He signed that contract. He got sued.
Perfect.
Right? Oh yeah, and then when he got sued, he made an agreement to make payment. Come back to me 6 months later and say, I need finance on the house. I went, no, you have to get fixed up. So we put you into a better position because your short-term loan to make sure that you kept your house, because he was going to lose $1 million in equity. And I'm going to take everything and charge him for everything. So it was cheaper to be in a better position. And I'm like, no, we have to do this and we have to do this. And his wife was all on board, and then he'd say, oh. And then I have clients who ring me up and go, I know I'm on a strict saving plan and I've got all this stuff, and I know that you said that we need another $2,000 to settle, but the land registration's not done, and I know you signed the contract ages ago. Yep, all we need is the $2,000. And your mum said that she was going to give it to you. Yeah, well, have a fight with mum and she's not going to. I went, oh, okay, that's fine. No, the fridge just blew up and we've got no milk for the kids. And I'm like, go get a fridge.
Yeah.
The land wasn't registering for 6 months. They had the time. But I have clients that won't buy, juice pops or milk or a fridge for milk. The washing machine died. And they got $80,000 on a baby shower where everybody got drunk.
Oh,
and then they're like, he goes, but you told me I've got a great heart. I went, oh, you do, Mum. You do. But just to let you know, and I've told him...
Financially illiterate.
Yes. And that's where...
But you're really nice. Don't get me wrong, you're a really nice guy. You're just financially illiterate.
Yeah. But it's true. You think to yourself,
oh, good God.
What were you thinking? And then, so sometimes I have had that moment of, I literally stood up at a meeting once. This is the third house this guy bought.
This whole time.
And I got up and I went, stop. You're grounded. You are not touching anything. I'm going to walk to your bathroom and I'm going to walk back. And his wife goes, would you like a cup of tea? Yes, I would. Please? I said, do you listen to anything I say? He goes, oh, you sound like my mum. I went, guess what? I am now your mortgage mum. You're grounded. Every card you've got is frozen.
Oh my God.
And he goes, what? I went, yep, we're going to take them off your phone. We're going to contact the bank and you're going to have your debit. No Visa card, no MasterCard, no anything. I walked to the toilet and I went, oh, I've never been so angry in my life. He had his actions impacted other people though.
Yeah.
Like it was a three-way buy.
Yeah, there you go.
So that was going to collapse one contract and collapse a second contract. So I said to him, do you ever think of anybody but yourself? And I went, look, I can't be your broker anymore. I've just stepped over the line. And he's like, no, you can't with me. Nobody will put up with this shit. Even my mother says, I don't know why you put up with me. And I'm like, I said, I can't deal with you doing one thing. And I said, I can see if there's a big thing happening on your bank account. I said, and then you ask me for something else. So if you're going to surprise a broker, tell them, don't give us surprises.
Yeah. I don't like surprises.
No.
Never have. Even before my broking career.
But if you're going to get a house repossessed,
yeah,
that's probably the first thing you need to tell us.
We
don't care.
I don't care. I can fix it.
Exactly.
But we
can do a plan. We can fix it. We can work with you. So what about commercial deals? And then you find out that there's 7 PPSRs on things on the day of settlement because no, we don't have anything. Yeah.
Yeah.
So how do you love a good commercial deal?
Look, to be fair, I do love a challenge. I do love finding solutions for things that I didn't think I'd be able to do, and when I do it, I'm like, hell yeah.
Exactly.
We got that.
Yeah,
we got that.
I did that. We said that.
Like, don't forget, I did that. But this is the first commercial development deal that I ever got.
Oh wow.
Not a big one, just a duplex. They own land outright, all the rest of it.
Yeah.
Was told unit trust, 6 beneficiaries, and I'm like, oh, it's just an investment group. That's fine, yeah. And the land's outright perfect. We've got heaps of equity.
And here's the kicker.
So it was the project manager that put the deal together was the trustee of the unit. His company was the trustee of the unit trust. Yep. And the 6 beneficiaries, SMSFs.
Oh.
You can see my dilemma.
Yes.
Everybody else might not be able to see my dilemma. It's a dilemma.
It's a huge
It's a dilemma. CIS Act, obviously massive in SMSFs. So.
And you can't construct. Yeah.
Technically, the SMSFs were just the beneficiaries.
Oh, they weren't the directors.
So we got around the no construction.
Yeah.
However, the 79,000 hoops I had to jump through.
Oh yeah, that would have been crazy.
To get it approved with a non-private lender. Thank you, Latrobe. No
and I'll thank Latrobe for deals as well.
Thank you for that. Thanks, Gav. We're still getting there. Like, it's the July. I got that, started July. I received that. And they were like, no, it's already been 9 months and my other broker I've had for 10 years just walked away. And I'm like, I can see why.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know.
And they've been working on for 10 years.
I don't actually think this one's going to get over. I said, I'm going to be brutally honest. I'll give it a whirl. This is my first time, so be patient, please. And he's really lovely, but then we got to we got it in. Scenario was approved first. I was like, here's the scenario, here's everything you need, here's the unit trust, here's the contracts, here's the this, here's the that, Perfect. They were like, I think we can do it. I was dumbfounded. I was like, oh, good Lord. Yay. Wonderful. I'm going to pick my plan comes out.
Dust already today. Yeah, right.
So we got it in. Credit indicatively approved it, which means nothing because there was 7,000 conditions on it, and I was like, oh, your letter's worth nothing.
One.
Yeah, right. It was like a 4-page indicative approval. Yeah, it was a big one. I mean, front cover page is obviously not included. It was 3 pages of conditions, and I was like,
wow.
It just keeps going. It keeps going.
The gift that keeps on giving.
Was it? And so we met all the conditions, we met all this, and we showed it was compliant. They wanted all these audits, certificates and audit this and audit that, and reports. I'm like, these aren't even 12 months old. They were set up for this purchase. 9 months ago, we only just passed the financial year. They don't have to do their returns or their audits until May 2026. So please. It's currently, like, I printed off all the ASIC searches. I'm like, look, it's currently compliant. Like, da-da-da-da. Finally got it unconditionally approved. And I should have read it 1,000 times. I went through it. I'm like, great. Still some conditions. So they're always up.
I love a formal approval with conditions, okay? So people out there think mortgage brokers, we just put the loans in, do nothing, and then if they refinance, pull back, oh, well, you paid $1 million. A, we're not paid $1 million. B, we have to send scenarios out, especially when there's a hair on it.
Oh, yeah.
And everyone has hair on it somewhere, especially in business and commercial stuff. You can work 6 to 12 months on a deal. You have worked literally 300 hours. You've researched, you know the shit. You know your clients so
Sending
well.
after-hour emails to assessors and answering them on the phone for 7 hours.
Yep, at 10:30 at night.
Contacting solicitors and explaining things to everybody, trying to calm everyone down.
Exactly. So not only do you mitigate, you get to be mum, you get to be the mediator, you get to be the happy, oh great, I've got formal. Why have I got conditions?
Yep.
Because this is
Why are
what
there
I've
6
done.
conditions? So we got the conditions, and the last condition was subject to legal review, which is standard.
Yep.
Which is fine. Subject to the legal review from the lender's solicitors upon mortgage document creation, and ensuring they are happy with its compliance with the SIS Act. And I'm like, cool, well I've already proved that, got nothing to worry about.
Depends on the solicitor.
This one was a doozy. She was lovely, said with all the sarcasm. She wanted, again, all the audits. I want all the audit reports. I'm like, I don't know how many times I have to explain it to you. They don't have audits.
Because they've only been operating 9 months.
They've been
They don't
operating
need to do it.
9 months. One of them has just gone over 12 months. However, the audits and financials and returns are not due until May. And she's like, well, I'm not creating the documents until you can give me the audit reports. And I'm like, in May? We're going to wait until May? My approval's going to be, my valuation expires in 10 days. That's annoying. That was also a shit show. Yep. And I was just like, I don't know what else I can do. So I called the BDM and I was like,
WTF is
I was like,
Israel.
We were there. And he goes, what do you mean? And I went, this is what's happened. I need someone on your side to tell her and explain to her.
Advocate, yeah. Or well.
What she's asking for is not something that can be provided. And by her asking for it and refusing to proceed or even giving me another option to provide something else that would help satisfy her query is going to tank the deal. Which, might I remind you, valuation expires in 10 days. We have to have it settled in 10 days.
Commercial
We've got to do it again.
valuations are a large cost to a client.
Yep.
They're not $300, they're $3,000 or $5,000.
Yep. Or sometimes more, depending on the location.
Exactly. Yeah, don't get me started there.
Which I don't understand, I think it costs $5,000, but we're not going to, don't start me, that's another tangent. So, that's another one. It's my ADHD kicking in.
What's wrong with that?
Oh God, no. So, we went back and I went to one of the accountants who'd set up like 3 of them, one of the planners who set up 3 of them, and I was like, look, this is what they're asking for. I'm well aware it's not something that can be provided. However, I've drafted some sort of lettering to give you, to make it sound better in your opinion, in your professional industry, to meet essentially what they're asking for, but not giving an audit. So it was like this letter that basically had all the SIS Act things that she was asking for in their paragraphs, and he just like added in his little words and all the rest of it, signed them, certified them, did it with the other accountant as well. I sent those to her and I was like, this is the best we're going to get. For the love of God, just give me my own documents, please. I now have 4 days until my valuation expires. And she's like, it's going to take me 24 hours to review them. And I went, no, it's not. Read one, because they're all the same. Just read one. Read the rest, obviously, but read one and tell me if it's going to be enough. Just read it right now while I have you on the phone. Quickly read it. I'll wait. I'll play Johnson Hold music. I I can
Ding, ding,
yeah,
ding,
she's like, I can
ding,
sing
ding.
you a lullaby.
Yeah.
I'm like, just read it, please read it. And I sent them to my BDM as well, and he was like, that's perfect, that'll mitigate everything. And I'm like, wonderful. She waited her 24 hours. She came back to me. I'm okay to, I'll get the documents ready for you. Give me 4 hours. Okay, thank you.
So now you've got 2 to 3 days.
Yeah, I've got 2.5 days. Documents come out. They're wrong.
What?
They have so the company who's the trustee, the project manager's company, sole director, sole Class A shareholder, sole person responsible, partner is the sole 100% ordinary shareholder, which means nothing apart from succession planning because Class A shares, for those playing at home, Class A, ordinary. And and they had her as director/secretary on all the damn documents. I'm like, she's a guarantor, she's a shareholder, she's not a director. So I then had to get them to read all the documents. And then as I'm going through it again, there's this covenant deed that she wants that is relevant, saying that these people can outvote this person. I'm like, the literal trustee was set up so that can't happen, but sure. Love that you read it. And it had a individual as the trustee for an SMSF and needing witnessing and all that. And I'm like, that's wrong. I was like, as per all of the ASIC registrations and ABN certificates provided, this is the company that's the trustee for this SMSF. Can you please, for the love of God, update it again? Finally got all the documents. Can we do digital signing? And she's like, no, all of them have to be wet signed and originals. And I went, can we please do digital signing? Please, with digital certificates? She's like, I could do it for all of it except that covenant document. I'm like, that was the one I was hoping we could do digital. Yeah, I can do all the others wet with the director because he's like, hop, skip, and a jump from my office. Yeah, he'll do it. I said, but all of these investors are all over South Queensland. Like, we've got some up in North Queensland. We've got 3 days before this valuation is closed. And she's like, sorry, originals only. Okay, I can do that. Call the developer and I was like, hey, hey, how you doing? Did you have a nice weekend? You
and he's
did?
Like, what?
Awesome. And he's like, what? I was like, good news, docs are here.
And they're finally correct.
And they're all correct. We just have to wait sign them all. It was great, email them through. I went, yeah. So there's also a covenant deed that needs to be signed by all of the trustees. And he goes, great, I'll print it, I'll sign my section, I'll scan it, and I'll email it. And I'm like,
No, wet signature
so
for everyone.
it has to be wet signatures for everyone. And he goes, yeah. I'll email it to them, they can print it and sign and then scan it. And I'm like, no, it needs to be
The one document.
the original singular document that goes to everybody. And he goes, that's going to take me 4 days to do. And I went, yeah, I know. You better get on it. So still waiting. We've got 2 more days before my valuation expires. 10.5, technically, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Wow.
She's kind of close.
Just a little. And when you settle on that one, you get that amazing feeling.
Yeah.
But it's all of those little things. So things that impact your finance are settling solicitor. Because the bank solicitor, and when you're dealing with SMSFs, you have 3 different lots of solicitors. You have the auditing solicitor, the settlement solicitor, their solicitor, and then you think, can anybody else? It's like a circus with popcorn. Who else wants to come in to view the SMSF? It is a lot.
100%.
And people don't understand
Outrageous.
what can I do in an SMSF. And some people purchase a property and then the company rents it back and then they go, it's an owner-occupied self-managed super fund. Sort of, but not.
Sort of, but not really.
Yeah, because it's a company, but you know there is a benefit. But you can't. And I told you the other day, we can't go forward with the contract because I don't have the 120,000. What do you mean you don't have it? She's not dead yet. Okay, so Nan
That
was
has
still
been
on
my
a rocker.
favourite story
That
I've ever
was terrible!
It was the most horrid thing I've ever heard in my life, but I think I cackled for about 5 minutes. like witchy cackle.
Yeah.
Like I was cackling.
But I mean, you get these people, and then they say, and for everybody out there, like, we have so many amazing, wonderful clients, and so many amazing, quirky, witty, engaging, funny, cranky. I had one woman that threatened once to curse me if I didn't get her son a home loan. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, sorry?
My life's already a shit show, bring it on.
Yeah.
Don't make it
Is it gonna be good?
better. Can I like have like the fun type of curse? Like,
Yeah.
like they're blue?
Yeah, right.
Like,
I want to make my skin shine.
yeah, can you make me shiny?
So,
Sparkle in the sunlight.
yeah. And it's like, then you get, and I had one client once where he had like 11 commercial properties all over Australia.
Awesome.
And about 10. But he was rather eccentric. Eccentric. When you phoned him, it would go to, and he'd go, I'm out the back with the birds. And that was his voicemail. And I was like, click. I phoned up again.
I don't think I called the right
And
person.
said, no, I didn't. And then when I phoned up again.
Just call Currumbin Bird.
The matinee's at 10. But like, and then I phoned him back because he was a referral. I said, oh, he's expecting your call. And I went, Deja, come over here.
You're gonna listen to
I
this.
said, is this real? So I had on speaker on my desk. She's there and she goes, he's weird. And he answered and well, sorry, he didn't. It went to message back and then he phoned up.
Yeah.
I answered. We're having a chat. And I went, oh, it's an unusual message. I thought I phoned somebody different. He goes, why? Do you get many people that do bird calls? I thought it would make me different. I went, oh, makes you different.
yeah, brother, it did. It makes you very different.
But he also wanted to gift, he wanted to do a family pledge and he was gifting cash to his daughter, significant amount, like Ferrari amount.
Love.
Okay.
My dad gave me,
And when you've
Christmas
got
present.
you've got to tick boxes when you're doing like a family
Yes,
pledge.
yeah.
And you've got to talk to that person separately.
Yeah.
So I've had the guy that stood beside his grandmother put his hand on his grandmother's shoulder and went, yeah, she's happy to proceed. And I went, got to talk to Nan by herself. Sorry about that. And I thought, oh, I'm dead on the way to the car park. But he turned out all right. And she's like, oh, get outside. And she started to get cranky. And he's like, oh, I'm so sorry, Nan.
Sorry, Nan.
So he was like,
Please say yes.
yeah.
Go on, no.
And then I've had people that are like, oh, I don't own the house, but I just want to put mum's place up so I can get a place. Does she know about it?
Oh yeah, she will want to tell it like after it's all
Pretty much.
done.
And favourable purchases. I'm happy with a favourable purchase. You know what it is,
Just
rah, rah, rah.
insane.
But this guy with the pledge, I had to physically go through the questions and it says, basically, do you think there's any cognitive impairment? And at that point in time, he goes, my uncle thought he was Napoleon. He said, I don't, I just climb trees and watch birds. And I'm like, you're not helping your cause.
That's
In my head.
crazy.
But it was just like the way he was saying it. Look, he's a very lovely guy. And I actually did 3 loans with him. And he had so much money. But he was the most eccentric, unusual character in the world. And he was an ex-accountant who went back and studied to be a doctor. When he got to do medicine, he did 2 years. Oh my gosh.
He would have been the best accountant.
He would have been the best accountant. Can you imagine? Your tax is due. Right?
Songbird accounting.
But it was like that. And you get to meet, being a broker, you get to meet unusual people. And you get to meet amazing people. And you get to meet funny people. And I have a gay daughter.
Love.
Right? I have 3 biological girls and lots of grandkids, and I've got stepkids, and somebody said to me one day, oh, you don't do loans for those gays, do you? And I went,
I do them especially for them.
I said, my best friend's a gay. I said, and then I've got a second best friend, he's a gay too. I said, and my daughter's gay, and he goes, oh, I'm so sorry.
No!
He did. And then his wife goes, whack!
Yeah, good.
And I went,
Love.
is that going to be an issue? I said, because you don't want to catch it. He goes, can you catch it?
Can you get
He asked me if you could catch it because, you know, I have one of those days. And I'm like, bless. But from all of those, I have had the most cookie cutter amazing people that are like, here's this. I had a guy once show the before and after picture of his wife's bits being redone because they wanted her first one. She had a bit of a Kris Jenner upstairs enhancement. So she had level 1 done and she was getting the groundwork done on the ground level and I didn't know what the second one was. And we had, and I went, and it whips out and goes,
This is what our funds are for.
yes! And this is what it's going to look
for
like.
investment purposes.
And I'm
in
like,
my wife.
I'm literally dying inside. So yeah, so when they say I make people feel comfortable, clearly I do. So I never want to say that again because I nearly gouged my eyes out. And I literally looked like I was having an aneurysm. I'm like, no.
Don't need to see photos of
Yeah.
what you're doing.
I'm just going to get my
see
mum.
photos of the house.
We're going to walk outside.
I just
it's going to
need
be
to know.
fine.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh my god, that's.
Yep. But the ID, my cousin's got a much better credit.
Yeah.
I love that, right? I mean,
So
that's
like
an
Chris
initiative.
name's still on the application? Is it
Yeah.
yours or your cousin's?
Oh no, he was definitely. But yeah, we
Wow.
were just going to use his. Yeah, that's a hard no. My ex-boss got called from one of the largest prisons in Australia from an inmate saying, "I'm going to get out in 12 months. Parole's good. Do you think you can get me a loan?" And she's like, "What's your income been like?" Because she got this is a collect call from such and such prison. She's like, "Hello." He said, "Oh, you've been referred to me by a guy inside." And I'll never forget that.
So
On the
they go,
training. I'm thinking,
this is a good thing or a bad thing.
well, when I was a BDM, I had a broker phone me and say, "I need you to say yes or no based on the person's character because it's the 5 C's of credit." And I went, "Oh, this is going to be a doozy." And this broker just did really hard deals. Okay, his were hilarious. And he says, "Oh, it's such and such, and you know he's got X $1 million in the bank, but he's been in jail, but he's out." I'm like, "How does he still have money?" "Oh, obviously no proceeds of crime." "Oh, well, we're not quite sure of some of them, so they didn't get taken." And I went, "Okay, do you need to stop there?"
Yeah.
He goes, "No, I just want to tell you his name and Google it." I went, "Should I Google it on the company computer?" He goes, "No, on your personal phone." And
Get
I'm
your
like,
phone out.
So I did. I whipped the phone out and I'm like, "Is this going to be like a weird OnlyFans type of scenario?" He goes, "No." So I Googled the guy's name and I went, "Yeah, no, walk away." So the gentleman had stolen identities from a graveyard.
Perfect.
So dead people.
Love that.
Yeah.
Well, they're not
So-
using any of their money.
So
I'm kidding.
That was one, and
That's hilarious.
I'm just like, "Run, no, just say no." He goes,
Immediately say no.
yeah, he goes, "But he's got millions in the bank as well." And I went, "Just say no." He goes,
How do you
"Yeah,
not
I'm
justify
right."
that that wasn't proceeds of crime?
Well,
That's
he,
all.
well, he
Well, is
had
it not a lie? It's
well,
not a
he
crime.
had it before, and then he made all this money, which they took back. But he had money prior to, so
From undiscovered crimes.
maybe.
Allegedly.
I worked at Rob.
stop
This is really bad.
Stop
So
it.
back in the day,
Do it.
I had somebody say to me, she was a very old lady once. And she said to me, "You know, love, I was a nurse back in the day, and because we were in a waiting room at a hospital and having a bit of a chat, I said, 'Oh, were you?' I said, 'You've been a lovely nurse.' I said, 'You've got that, you know, warmth about you.' She goes, 'I've had 3 husbands and I've done very well.' And I said, 'Oh, good on you.' I said, 'You're a bit of a wildcat.' She goes, 'Oh no,' she said, 'I married well.' She said, 'They died on the Friday, had them cremated by the Monday, so there was no evidence.' She would have been 95 if she was a day. She was this tiny little petite thing. She smiled and winked at me and I'm like, oh! So, yeah.
We need to get her on here.
We are so starting a murder podcast. But yeah. So,
Oh my god.
comes people that have had extra wives, extra children.
Love.
So what about you? So what are some of your crazy...
Mine aren't as exciting as that. Mine are just
Why do they come to me?
I don't know.
Magnet.
I don't know. I just get all the people who are like, we want this at auction, and we're not going to listen to you. Oh, we've gone 300,000 over
we've all
budget.
got those. No.
I'm like, I can't.
Yeah. You can though.
They're now avoiding my calls because they now know that they were wrong and they've already transferred funds.
See, I just find that's why I hate when
I just
they already
find it
transfer the
really
funds.
upsetting. Like, it breaks my heart when customers do that. And this is why you don't go to auctions. You send a representative, you send a buyer's agent, you send another sales agent, you send your mother. Like, send anyone who doesn't have...
Don't buy it with your heart, buy it with your head.
Anyone who doesn't have an emotional attachment to the purchase, send. It's like going to the car yard. And, idiot, prime example. Walked into the car yard and I was like, damn, I love that car. Ding, 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 ding. Sales agent walked over and goes, you would look great in it. Why don't we take it for a test drive? Off we went. I'm like, this is the sickest. And I'm telling him how much I love this car. He already knows it's in the bag. And then the price comes up and I was like, I really want this car. And my husband said, "Go."
You're the one that was all in.
And I was like, I'll have a think about it. Walked out, I'm like crying out. I'm like, I wanted that car. And he's
Okay,
like,
how much was the car?
it was okay. So I had a $30,000 budget because it was my first brand new car.
Yep.
I was celebrating. I traded my old car in to pay off my HEX debt because why not? Somehow convinced them it was worth 20 grand. It wasn't. But I used like one against the other. I had a Kia Sportage, went into Kia. I wanted the new Kia Sportage. When I found out the price of the new Kia Sportage, I no longer wanted a Kia Sportage. It was like 80 grand. By the time you added all of it, you got the nice one in your...
prices, aren't they, at the moment?
So then I walked across the road and my husband's savvy as, very frugal, love it. We balance each other out. I'm like a spendthrift, he's very not, and we just...
It
perfect.
works.
It's perfect. So we walked over and he goes, come have a look at MG. I was like, ew, the China cars. And he's like, shut up. He's like, you know all of it comes from China anyway, right? And I was like,
fair cool.
yeah, you're right.
Why logics get into it?
So we went over to MG and I'm looking at it. We're trying to pick between the ZST and HS at the time.
Yeah.
And we were just starting to talk about, expanding the family and all the rest of it. So we took my sister's baby seat and her pram, and we were put baby seats and prams
To see if they fitted.
to see how much room we
See,
had.
that's what you should do.
Yeah.
The same with a house. Send a buyer's agent.
Yeah.
They'll do stuff.
They'll
You're
do
going to
all
buy
the
a
looking
car.
and stuff. Yeah. So we did all that, and then the ZST top of the range was 34, and I'm like, it's only $4 grand over budget. Might be able to make it work. The HS was like 48, and I was like, that one's out, but it's bigger one.
Yeah.
Bigger one. And then we actually worked out the inside of the car was the same size. It was just the boot was
the
slightly
boot was
bigger.
different.
But the ZST had a deeper boot.
Oh.
So they essentially leveled out. And then we looked at the base, mid, high. High was 34. Mid
Yeah,
was
which is
28.
Pretty cheap, aren't
Yeah,
they?
mid was 28 and base was 24. So I went up like $4 grand every time. Anyway, so then I was like, well, what's the difference between the top one and the middle one? And he goes, well, you got a beautiful sunroof. And I noticed on your current car you have a beautiful sunroof. And I was like, I actually don't use a sunroof.
Yep.
I hate the sunroof. Not a good selling point.
Not if you don't use it.
Yeah, and he's like, electric chair. And I went, yeah, I've got that on the Kia, that's cool, I like that. And he goes, seat warmers, and I was like, love that, love seat warmers. And he goes, digital dash display, and I'm like, hate that, hate digital dash. Love my little,
Yeah.
and
It makes you feel good, doesn't
yeah,
it?
like,
Yeah.
no. So I was like, and I'm like, for like $6 grand more, it's gonna cost for like a sunroof, an electric chair, and a digital display. And he goes, well, it's a panoramic sunroof. I was like, oh, it's a panoramic sunroof.
Oh.
Right? I can hear the engines. And I was like, nah, I'll take the big one, please. he goes, oh, sure. And I'm like, well, to be fair, I'm going to move the seat once. I'm not going to move it again.
Yeah.
It's my car.
Once you're in position.
Yeah, once I'm there. Like, it's not one of those fancy ones that, when you get out, and then you get out, and then you sit in and you put your, it's not one of those.
It's you.
It's literally just
It's you with the short
slide in,
legs.
slide out. Yeah, right. It's me with my little petite feet.
Yeah.
And we get in. And
So could do the
I was like, I hate the digital display too. I was like, I hate digital display. So you've lost me. You immediately lost me with digital display. So anyway, so then, because my family used to own car dealerships, so I was like, 29's obviously not the best we can do. Problem was, middle of COVID. So he was like, it's literally what we're doing.
Yeah.
And I was like, nah, come on. 28. I got $1,000 off. And I was like, retro!
Yeah, exactly.
I was like, include retro for free, and we have it. So we ended up doing that, and then the funniest part about it was, because it was like 2021, middle of COVID, I wanted to support a small business and get my tinting and ceramic coating done by this small business in Brisbane. So I was getting my car, driving it straight there. He was going to tint all the rest of it. MJ keeps calling me the week leading up to picking up my car on the Friday. Hey, do you want tinting? Do you want this? Do you want that? It's only going to cost you $5,000. I'm like, no. Like, I'm supporting a small business. They're doing it for thousands. Unless you get a price match, go away.
Yeah.
Hey, we can do it half price. It was a Wednesday. We can do half price. I'm like, no, you're still $1,500 more expensive than what I'm getting it for. No, thank you. Day off. Do you want it for free?
What?
And I went, Why would you give it to me for free? We've been given approval from management to show good faith or putting it forward or whatever the excuse the manager said was. And she was like, so we're doing one car who is getting it picked up tomorrow for free. And I was like, I'd love to save $1,000, but no, it's COVID, this small business. Like, I want to support the small business. You guys just made $28,000 off me. Whatever, it's free. No, call someone else that might need it if they can't afford it. I can afford it. I'm going to give it to this guy.
Yeah.
Went in the next day to pick up my car. I'm standing there talking to him, and he goes, that one's it over there, but you need to come over here. And so my husband walked over and he goes, And he comes over and goes, are you sure that's her car? And he's like, yeah, the red one, right there. That's hers. And I looked at it and I went, do those windows look a bit dark for normal windows that aren't tinted? And my husband goes, no, they're tinted there. And I went, did you get tinting? I went, no. I said, we're literally driving it from here to go get tinted. And he's like, that's tinted. And I looked at the guy and I was like, why are my windows tinted? And he's like, I'm just going to quickly go get my manager. And I was like, oh my God. And then the managers come out, the paperwork's come out, and she's like, there's your car, da-da-da-da, are you happy? And I was like, well, yeah, but why are my windows tinted? And she's like, oh, I called you. And I was like, yeah, I know, and I told you don't tint my car. And she's like, oh, well, they accidentally tinted the wrong car. So
Be honest in the first place.
Accidentally tinted your car, and they've also ceramic coated it. And just to let you know, we've had to call your broker because there's not enough funds in your loan for settlement. And I went, excuse me, why? And she goes, oh, well, as you see here, we've had to add the tinting. And I went, oh, no, we're not doing that, no. And she goes, well, like, I gave you the opportunity yesterday to accept it for free, and because you haven't, you now have to pay for it. And I went, no, I don't. I didn't ask for it. I didn't sign for it in my contract. It's not my fault that you guys made a mistake and tinted the wrong car. Feel free to peel it off. I'll wait. And they were like, you gotta pay for it. Don't you want your new car?
I do, but...
And I went, I do, but like, I'm also giving you my car today to hand over, and you're giving me my cash for it. So if I leave without that car and I go home in my car, all I'm up for is the $500 deposit, and I just cancel my contract. I'm happy to lose $500. And she was like, I'll scribble that out. And I'm like, that's what I thought. But reissue the invoice because tax purposes, I need it to be correct.
But I've had clients come to me that have gone somewhere and they've had credit checks done on them and they haven't. So all you people out there that do listen, make sure that the car company is not doing a credit check on you, because every credit hits your credit file, hits your credit score.
And it drops it significantly. Every loan inquiry or credit card inquiry hits your credit file. You just your Optus, Telstra, phone bills still go on your credit file. You've got
and each one lowers it.
Soft touch.
Yep.
Soft touch. We want soft touch credit reporting. We'll do it yourself.
Yeah.
Equifax, they do it for free once a year.
But it's true. You could give somebody a piece of advice for what not to do when buying a house and what not to do when buying commercial property.
Okay. If we focus on an owner-occupier,
Yep.
the one piece of advice that I would give is don't go in unprepared. Don't go in unprepared, and don't go in not knowing what you can have, because everybody seems to do it backwards at the moment. Everyone looks for the house first, and then they fall in love.
Yeah.
And then we have to be the bearer of bad news to say, sorry, you don't qualify for that. So my advice is to always check first, even if you do those stupid how much can I borrow on CBA, whatever. Just do it to get some sort of general knowledge. Call your broker, call someone who's used a broker,
You don't match every policy.
Yeah.
You don't match every
just
lender.
Because you've been with CBA for 15 years and your dad's been with them for 25 doesn't mean they're going to be the best option for you.
Yeah.
There's a loyalty tax.
Yeah. That's true.
It's just don't go in unprepared, because I hate having to tell people, sorry, you can't have that one you've just fallen in love with. I get much bigger kicks out of working it out for them and then saying, this is the budget, I can help you find something, I can help you get in contact with people that can help you find something, let me help you do it. And then when they fall in love with something, 99% of the time when they have the budget, it's actually under budget. They fall in love with something that's like 40 or 50 grand less, and then we've saved them money anyway.
And look, it's
just, commercial.
Don't apply for, I would say to somebody, don't apply for a loan online.
Oh yeah.
Because if you get a decline, that makes it
That
difficult.
looks so much worse. Oh, also, don't get car loans midway through an application, please.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Don't change your whole job, just woo.
Talk to the broker first.
Tell me.
If you are thinking of doing anything, and
we literally ask you, do you have any foreseeable changes in the near future? No.
And then
Except
6
I'm
months
planning
later,
to quit my job in 2 weeks.
planning to quit my job in 2 weeks. I'm actually 4 months pregnant, but you can't show. But in 2 months' time, they come in to visit you, and you're like,
where did that come from?
yeah, you haven't settled.
What's
now
this?
You're pregnant.
What's this?
What's happening?
Well, I have, funny you should say that, that's probably one of the ones that's just jogged a memory.
Yeah.
I literally had that happen. And they came back to me and they were like, oh, we're ready now. And I went, wonderful. Your brain capacity is going to change. And they went, why? And I went,
You're going to have a baby.
I said,
You can't kill a kid.
I went, don't mean to be rude, and I hope you're not fat, but is there something going on there? She's like, oh yeah, we're pregnant, it's our first one, we're so excited, And the bloke had the audacity to go, well, it's not here yet, so technically it's not a dependent.
Oh, wow.
And I went, technically you're correct, however, that's a foreseeable change for your future. So I now need to make sure it services off the change in your lifestyle, which it doesn't for that much anymore because of that. And he goes, well, it could die tomorrow, so why do we have to include it? And I was like, oh,
wow. Let's have more children with him.
oh my god. I was just like, let's maybe not put that out into the universe.
Yeah.
That's a bit spicy. And that was so we had to obviously go less and all the rest of it, but wild. Just don't change shit.
Don't change shit.
And if you
don't
want
go
to change
for car loans.
just
And
tell me.
don't go for a new car while you're waiting, and then put it on Facebook. Because the lender phones people, us.
I had one that didn't tell me they just was made redundant. Employers, lenders
They've
for
done their
employment
check.
check. Oh yeah, so and so is currently employed. However, their employment ends on the 31st. They were made redundant a week ago. I get a call from the assessor, like, you're an idiot. You didn't do your employment checks. I'm like,
What?
yeah. No, I don't call the employer. That's not technically part of my job. No.
Yeah.
But I spoke diligently with with them. They didn't tell me anything.
So you spent 20 hours on the phone and 100 emails.
Yeah, and they're like, well, he's made redundant last week. You could. I was like a cartoon character. You could visibly see the steam coming out of my ears, and I just went, thanks so much for letting me know. I'll call back. We'll work out a plan. Thanks. And I was like, okay, well, if he's been made redundant, hopefully he's already got a job with the same thing, same role, same this, same that. Part-time, full-time, doesn't matter.
Yep.
I can work with that. Obviously he's going to have jobs, he's got 3 kids. We're going to be fine. Hi, so-and-so. Are you redundant? There was no niceness in this phone call. I was like, are you redundant? And he was like, what does that mean?
How'd you find out? I get
No,
it.
because what does that mean? And I went, okay, I'm going to dumb it down. Have you been told you are no longer employed and you're receiving a payout? Specifically ending on the 31st of this month? He's like, oh yeah, that happened last week. I went, we submitted 2 days ago. Why would you have not told me last week when I asked about any foreseeable changes? And he goes, well, that means like, can I see anything changing? It's already changed. So like nothing else was changing after that. And I was like,
Wow.
wonderful.
You got this.
I said, you've obviously got a new job in place, right? He goes, nah, with the redundancy, I'm getting a pretty good pay pack. Like, I've been there for 15 years, so it's like over 100 grand. I thought I'd just take some time off. In the middle of a finance okay. All right. You're the main breadwinner in this family. You're the primary applicant. Your income is what's majoritively servicing what we're going for.
That's when I get hives. What do you say?
He goes, oh, but like I'm getting what I normally earn in a year as a payout. So like, can't they I'll just pay myself a wage through that, I'll just draw it out on that. I'm like, that's not how it works. That's not how it works. Like, that's not how it works. So like, it's just not, that's not a thing.
Yeah. Wow.
It's wild. Some people just don't get it. And that's the most frustrating part. So
Just be honest with your broker. Talk to them. That's
Yeah.
what they're here for. Any tips for a commercial?
Yep. So tips for commercial is you've got to be aware that, you know, you're going to need more deposit than you think you do.
Yep. And your costs are higher.
Yes, costs are higher. It's not a residential purchase. I have a lot of people breaking into that commercial market.
Mm-hmm.
So my tips for people going from resi to commercial, because yes, yields can be higher, bigger returns and all the rest of it if you buy the right commercial location.
Yeah.
But it's not a normal deal and you normally need an entity to purchase. So don't come in thinking it's like a residential purchase, because it's not.
And don't set up the company one day before you sign. That's my tip.
Yeah, that's also a very good tip. It's just, again, talk to the broker or talk to a commercial buyer's agent. Like, find out, do research. My tip is do
I have found
research.
buyer's agents have been great for my clients.
Yeah.
I've introduced a few clients to buyer's agents that I trust,
Yeah.
and they've been great. They haven't bought, they bought on what we said they could borrow. They have a much better outcome. It's a lot less stress and we're much more prepared.
Yeah.
So hallelujah to that.
Yeah.
So if anybody wants to talk to you about a really tricky commercial deal, obviously you want them. The weirder the better, I heard you say before.
Yeah, love all of those. Hard, low credit scores, love all of those.
A good challenge is something. So a lot of brokers say, oh, I don't want to challenge, and they'll pass
I just
it on.
want the easy stuff. Give me the 20%ers.
I
Yeah.
don't want
No,
that
thanks.
either.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I do want those.
Yeah.
To be fair,
They're
sprinkle a
lovely.
couple of those in for me.
It's like the
just like a
sprinkles on top.
seasoning. Just give me some seasoning.
So if anybody wants to contact you, which platform would you send them through to?
Professionals, if there's any professionals out there that want to connect, talk further about their customers and anything like that, LinkedIn. LinkedIn is the best place to get me for professionals and other businesses and all the rest of it.
So on LinkedIn, your full name is?
Brooke Juracic. Juracic, not like the dinosaurs, unfortunately. Gold Coast Wealth is the page. Either of us, go for it. Socials, realistically, just send me an email. Brooke, BROOKE, @gcwealth.com.au.
See the lady in the red MG?
Yeah, right. Love.
Very nice. Thank you so much for coming on.